Welcome back to the third instalment of the Year of Chaos Watch, where once again we're going to have to talk about this goddamn phrase that refuses to die, but this time it's because Games Workshop have decided to weigh in with an article that have led a number of you to tell me that I was wrong in my initial interpretation of the Year of Chaos.
You just made the list!
See, a little while ago we did talk about this. We talked about the Year of Chaos. We talked about how, as far as I could tell, it had only been mentioned in 2 articles, one of which is referenced in this new article, and that it hadn't been mentioned in any of their previews, any of their streams or videos, and that perhaps the community as a whole had taken what was supposed to be something of a throwaway phrase and turned it into something more, turned it into an expectation, into a belief that Games Workshop were going to really go hard on Chaos for the next 12 months, or for maybe a bit of the previous few months into the next year. It's a little bit confusing and nebulous, but that's effectively what I discovered. They hadn't really used it as a marketing phrase. It had only come up twice, and one in an article that, no offence, but I'm pretty sure very few people will have read, and it wasn't used as this big, hype-generating phrase, but the community had turned it into that. That was my interpretation. And you know what? At the time of making that video, I stand by that interpretation. But things have changed, because there is now an article, The Year of Chaos in Review, All the Gifts of the Dark Gods. Now, to be absolutely fair to you, if you only read that headline, I would 100% understand you thinking, well, I mean, Kirioth was wrong then. Definitely wrong. Games Workshop have confirmed the Year of Chaos in this article. Just look at the headline. It clearly states that that is a real thing that existed. If you only read that bit, then I understand how you would have come to that conclusion, and you're wrong, but I can understand why you came to that incorrect conclusion. Because if you read the rest of the article, well, specifically the start and the end, because the middle is just look at all this stuff we released, I cannot possibly come to the conclusion that actually the Year of Chaos was their big marketing push all along, and it was a big hype phrase that Games Workshop went wild with, because that's still not true, and the way that they present the first few paragraphs of this article really hammer home that they might be, frankly, just taking the piss out of us a little bit here. So, time moves strangely in the warp. A year in real space might be 100 in the formless realm of the Empyrean, or 1,000, or perhaps just a few weeks. Now, if this was a big hype like, look what we did for Chaos, all of your prayers were answered, that is a weird way to start it. You don't start a celebratory article talking about how good your marketing thing was by introducing weird metaphysical time nonsense. That's not how you do that. Accordingly, some claim that the Year of Chaos began in September 2024, with the Dark Troth made in this article. Oh god, now I've got to look at what troth means. Faith or loyalty when pledged in a solemn agreement or undertaking. A token of troth. Okay, cool, thanks for not clearing anything up. Awesome. What a useless tangent. Accordingly, some claim that the Year of Chaos began in September 2024 with a dark troth made in this article. Now, I already know what that article is going to be. It's going to be the Warhammer Day 2024 article, but we will click it just to be sure. Oh, look at that, I was right. For others, though, the Year of Chaos stretches further back. Did it begin in June, with the Horned Rat's ascension to the Pantheon in the Age of Sigmar? Was it kicked off by Codex Chaos Space Marines in May? Perhaps it's been the so-called Year of Chaos for 40 years or more, a relentless onrush of releases dating back to the early 80s and before. Look, I'm sorry, but if you read all of that and thought, yeah, they definitely meant the Year of Chaos to be a thing, I don't know what to tell you. That is some of the most obfuscating, sarcasm-filled text I think I've read on their website to date. I mean, judging by what they've said there, if they were going for the Year of Chaos as a distinct marketing term and they were using it deliberately to build hype, they've done a terrible job, not least because according to their own article talking about the Year of Chaos, the Year of Chaos is anywhere from 9 months to 13 months long. Now that by itself, kind of alarm bells ringing, right? Generally speaking, when you say a year of, most people think about 12 months, roughly, and when I say roughly, I mean 12 months, or from the start of date to the end of the current year. Not anywhere from 9 to 13 months. We're in June. It either started in May of last year or September of last year, or it might have been actually in June of last year. Could be any of them. That's not a thing. That's not an actual thing that they're doing. If that's what they were aiming for with the Year of Chaos, a nebulous amount of time that could be significantly less or a bit more than the year they said it was, that is either some 4D chess marketing nonsense, or, alternatively, and hear me out on this, they didn't actually mean anything with it and it was a throwaway phrase that showed up twice in the course of the last 9 months. I'm personally leaning towards the throwaway phrase, which was picked up and amplified, and then became something that they hadn't actually intended it to become. I mean, the rest of this article is pretty much just look at all the Chaos stuff we released, right? We got these two in May, then we got this lot in June, and then we've got stuff for Ember Garden. Funnily enough, pretty much every system is accounted for here. We've got AOS, we've got Old World, we've got 40k, we've got Kill Team. I mean, that's still 40k, but whatever. We got Fulgrim, we've got the other codexes, we've got the Knight, all of that stuff. So it's just a rundown of, here's all the things that we released. I will say as well, by the way, contradictory language in this here article, because look at this, that's not even 12 months worth of releases. I'm sorry, what? What do you mean it's not 12 months worth of releases? Do you know how long it is? May 2024 to June 2025? I'll give you a hint, it's not 10 months or 11 months. It's actually a little bit longer than that. They also bring up, like, oh, Blades of Khorne on the last Warhammer Age of Sigmar roadmap. Well, not just on the roadmap. You literally confirmed that in an article 2 days ago, but okay. And then this cheeky little sentence here, the upcoming Saturnine box brings a titanic new dreadnought and imposing Terminators to 9 traitor legions in the Horus Heresy. They are responding to the community outcry against the Year of Chaos marketing thing that they didn't do by saying, here's a bunch of stuff that we could have done for Year of Chaos if that's what we were doing, but we didn't. And even though we didn't, you still got loads of stuff, and there's even more stuff coming. That's pretty much what this is, or at least that's my read on it. I could be way off base, right? They could be doing the 4D chess thing, where a year is a nebulous concept that could be anywhere from 9 to 13 months long, and that actually it was supposed to be a really special time for Chaos, and that they just forgot to mention it outside of 2 articles 5 months apart. I could be totally off base with that interpretation, but it feels pretty safe, and I'm sticking to my guns. And that's probably not the result some of you hope for, but tough shit, honestly. I don't know what else to tell you. So, this is the other thing as well. That's it then. A whole year of Chaos basically done. But what next? Is that it for Chaos? 12 months and they all retreat into whatever? Perhaps the Year of Chaos may never end. Maybe it won't. Maybe the Year of Chaos won't end. Maybe it's because it never began in the first place or something. I don't know. Something that I'm not entirely sure about with this article is, firstly, the headline, because that's really going to set a lot of people off, and in fact already has. But also, it's kind of ignited a lot of the stuff that we talked about in the follow-up video to that Year of Chaos investigation, if you will. Because a lot of you pointed out that the Year of Chaos has become something of a rallying cry for those who feel that Chaos are underserved, and Games Workshop kind of basically acknowledging the fact that the phrase was taken and made into something that they didn't necessarily intend to, albeit with very vague language. They're not outright going, yeah, you made this up. You all made it up. But they're also not exactly making it clear that, yes, we definitely wanted this to be a thing, because I don't think they did. But, like, this whole thing of some claim it started here, some claim it started there, the warp is weird, actually it's been the Year of Chaos for 40 years, like, that is all a very non-committal way of going, I mean, it came from somewhere, but if you were disappointed with it, look at all this Chaos stuff. What are you disappointed for? It's just brought all the old arguments back. It's brought all the stuff about, well, I don't play Emperor's Children, so an Emperor's Children Codex and army doesn't help me. You know, things like World Eaters and Thousand Suns still being like half a range, and where is all of that for updates? I've seen people arguing about the whole special Chaos Treats thing that showed up on the roadmaps, which I'd honestly forgotten even existed. I'd forgotten that was even, I mean, it's only a little bit of text on a picture, but then again, the Year of Chaos was a throwaway line in September of last year, and look what's happened to that. But, like, with the special Chaos Treats, going like, oh, people going, none of the stuff that we got was a special Chaos Treat, so I don't know why they put that there. Which, I mean, if you think about it, we got 4 special edition codexes that were all linked by a quarter of a medallion that you could then put together to make a big shiny display piece. And whilst that might not be your personal taste, I personally even though it's not for me, and I didn't buy one, or 4, or 3, or any number of them, I'd still think that might count. You know, a unique set of codexes that no other faction has anything like, as far as I'm aware. You could maybe consider that to be a special Chaos treat. But, hey, that's just me. It's just this article has just brought all of that back up. Most of the discussion that I've seen surrounding it are people going, we told you it wasn't a thing, or people going, we told you it was a thing, and all the comments underneath going, yeah, but what they did for Chaos still sucks, though. And they could have just not written it. Like, I don't know. I don't really know what to say other than that. Anyway, in conclusion, the Year of Chaos still wasn't a thing. It isn't a thing. And if you read the headline of this article, the title of the article, and you thought to yourself, actually it turns out that it is a real thing, then obviously I totally get it. It's presented very, very straight in the headline, and then when you read the rest of the article, that provides context, which proves the headline to be somewhat tongue-in-cheek. If you read the rest of the text and still think that I'm wrong, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, but you are wrong. Sorry. I can't leave that as the outro. I tell you what, I'll do a neutral outro as well. I'll do a neutral one, so I'll put timestamps in the video, and you can either have the combative outro, or you can have the neutral outro. So for the neutral one, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, feel free to click all the things, and I'll see you for the next one. What a stupid way to finish a video.